Hello everybody, my name is Shedrack Domingo. I am a physiotherapist working in Moshi, Tanzania. Moshi is in northern part of Tanzania. You can see it on the map. The picture on the bottom right is the town where I live, Moshi town, and you can see Mount Kilimanjaro, the highest mountain in Africa, at the background of that picture. The top right picture is me at the clinic, EPT Clinic, which I founded in 2016 to offer physiotherapy and rehabilitation services. We will learn more about the clinic in this presentation, but first of all, I would like to thank my Keystone Rotary Club for working with me to make this presentation possible. Welcome and enjoy. So in Tanzania, there are very few rehabilitation services. This is reflected in the fact, for example, the need for physiotherapists in the country is 10,000 physiotherapists, but the available physios are less than 1,000 physios. Usually the average monthly income of most people here is around $130 US. And the cost for a physiotherapy service per month will go to up to 93,000. Will go up to $93 US. So this makes it difficult for most people to afford the service, given the fact that only less than 20% of the population have a health insurance. And most of the clients that we meet, they have been in a hospital for a very long time. Some of them have been in a hospital for over a year. By the time we meet them, they have spent all their savings and they have nothing to pay for the rehabilitation services. And another thing you find here is that only 40% of children with disabilities go to school, which means majority of people with disabilities are illiterate, and this makes them to be marginalized in the society. And when I saw that, the gap, I decided to take an action. In 2013, I went to work with a community-based rehabilitation service for children to learn the principles on how to run a community-based rehabilitation service. And my aim was also to have adult services because they are even fewer than the children's services. So as I was working there, I was saving my salary and used it to open a shop. And through this shop, I raised some funding, and I was able to open this clinic you see here in 2016. And the team, as you can see on the top right picture, is myself in the middle with two supporting staff. Their duty is to help the clients at the clinic who stay at the clinic with self-care activities such as washing, dressing, feeding, toileting, etc. And the bottom right picture is my colleague who is a physiotherapist. His name is Kelvin. So we do have inpatient services. The left picture shows how the rooms in the clinic look. So people would come there, usually with a relative, and we will teach the relative the rehabilitation, the exercises. Then once they are discharged, they will continue to do at home. But we also do home visits using the car that you see in the slide. And we work with the patient in their homes, and usually with the relative. We want the relatives to learn so that they can keep on doing. That is how we reach many more people, and also it helps to reduce the cost. Our services have transformed the lives of many. The top left picture is Penina. She was working here selling fried banana and fish. We found her lying in bed, completely paralyzed. She was not even able to turn in bed because of Guillain-Barré syndrome. After working with her for a couple of months, she was able to come out and work. And now the bottom left picture, you will see her at a clinic where she works because she studied clinical medicine in college. Now she's a clinical officer. The man in the middle picture, he was also in bed for a very long time, but when we worked with him, rehabilitating him for almost a year, he is now able to work in his tailoring business. The other person you see in the picture, he was lying in bed after spinal cord injury, and he was completely flat in bed. He could not sit upright because he was in bed for so long he became stiff. Working with him for months, he's now able to sit upright again. So he is able to use a wheelchair, which was not possible before. But now he's working in his shop where he's selling phone credit, and he's an agent of mobile money transfer. We have transformed their lives. The smiles that we see in their faces gives us energy and motivation to keep going on and on. Apart from that, we do manufacture assistive devices. The wheelchairs that we manufacture locally, they conform to our environment, unlike the imported wheelchairs, which cannot go in the rough terrain. These wheelchairs that we manufacture here, they can also be repaired locally. Repair and maintenance is possible locally, unlike the imported ones where you cannot find the spare parts once the imported wheelchairs are broken. The tires of our wheelchairs, all the parts are available in the country, and also they are weldable. You can weld them anywhere in the country. But also these wheelchairs that we manufacture are therapeutic in their own right. First of all, the wheelchair is designed according to the individual needs. We assess the person and prescribe the wheelchair according to his needs. And the chair also helps to correct deformities, prevent the deadly pressure sores, and hence therapeutic in its own right. We do manufacture other devices like commodes, kids' walking frames, and standing frames. On the top left picture is my friend and colleague, Lakson Mgase, and myself. I met Lakson. He is a wheelchair technologist. After graduating from college, he had no work to do because he had no clients. So he was doing other things. But when I met him, we found that I have clients who need wheelchair, but I don't have the technology. And he has the technology, but he doesn't have clients. So we decided to partner. So what I do, I usually prescribe the wheelchair after doing a clinical assessment of the client. And Lakson and his team will make the wheelchair according to the prescription, and will come to do the fitting and user training together. And the workshop is in his home. You can see the picture on the bottom left. And he is now training other guys to make wheelchairs. So they are also getting an employment in the workshop. Apart from that, we do provide education and awareness raising in the community. We go into radio, into schools, and in the community to provide health education, and we focus on prevention of lifestyle diseases. We found that most of our stroke clients, they had a stroke because of a high blood pressure, and they didn't know that they had a high blood pressure until they got the stroke. So we go into radio and various places to educate people on how they can prevent themselves from the lifestyle diseases such as high blood pressure and diabetes. Monthly, people are free to come to our clinic and learn about lifestyle diseases and get free blood pressure checkups and body mass index checkups. And this has helped many people, and some of them we found that they had high blood pressure. We refer them to doctors and they are now on medication. We do also raise awareness on various disability issues, helping the society to play its role as far as disability is concerned. We do have our goals for the future. We want to be able to provide more and more wheelchair for our clients. We do have a very long waiting list, and there are places that we have not reached. We want to be able to provide wheelchair for everybody who needs a wheelchair in Tanzania. We would like to have additional staff in the clinic and in the workshop as well. Also, we want to purchase a four-wheel drive vehicle to enable us to access places that we are not able to access. Currently, the small car we use, it cannot go to the remote places where most roads are not paved, and in rain season it's even more difficult. Another thing that we want to do is to continue to support the economic activities of people with disabilities. Currently, we try to link them with people, we'll train them about entrepreneurship, but we want to be able to even give them financial support to start a business. For example, if someone had an accident, sometimes it is difficult for them to go back to their former job. So we would like to enable them to be able to do an economic activity. We are planning also to open a branch in another region in Manyara. We were to do so in March, but because of the outbreak of the COVID-19, we were unable. We are waiting to see how things will go. We have found that the place, which has a population of almost 2 million people, has only 2 physiotherapists, and that is the same in many places of the country. So our goal is to open a branch there. Once it is stable, we move into another region and do the same. And at the end of the day, we want to be able to duplicate our services all over the country. Another thing that we are doing is a Green Life project. This is a book which my colleague Kelvin has published, and we want to make sure that this book goes everywhere in the country. It is a book that is written in Swahili and in simple terms about lifestyle diseases, so that everybody can learn about these conditions. Another thing that we are up to is sexual reproductive health services for people with disabilities. We have learned that most people with disabilities have no access to these services, such as family planning or treatment of sexual transmitted diseases. So our goal is to incorporate these services into our activities, so that when people with disabilities come to us, they will also be able to get sexual reproductive health. So that is it. Thank you for your time, and above all, thank you for giving us an opportunity to share this in your meeting. I really appreciate it.